Number 7 was MJF's rise to the top of AEW is one of the biggest things that happened this year. I'd say that's true. You know,
Yeah, I
he
mean, I would like to see where he was in 2022. Feels like
hmm,
he he did this years. He's been a top guy for a long time. But
yeah.
I have a fun MJF story I would
Ooh,
like to tell.
okay.
So I was writing for a wrestling news website, and MJF had tweeted out this thing saying that he was getting the key to the city of the town in Long Island that he's from.
Hmm.
Um, and so like MJF, like I'm not just gonna take his word for it. This guy bullshits all the time. So I called the fucking thing, right? Which never happens anymore.
Yeah.
And I could tell by the response I got. Um, so all I wanted to do is be like, I just wanted to make sure this press release is real because it came from MJF and
Mm.
he's a professional liar. So I just wanted to make sure. And so the lady talking to me is like, oh yeah, so and so handed this out. Hold the line and I'll get them on the phone for you. I was like, no, no, it's fine.
Oh, okay.
And so next thing I know, this guy comes on the line who clearly wanted to talk about MJF. Like,
Like there was a post-it on that lady's desk that said, "If anyone calls about
if
MJF,
anyone calls about
contact Gary."
MJF, yeah, I want to speak to them because I couldn't have made it more clear that this was just a quick. I just want a confirmation,
Yep.
and all of a sudden I'm on the line with the guy who wrote the thing, and so I feel obliged to have like some type of
Oh.
conversation, right? Uh, so anyway, goes on and on about like MJF does, this good charitable work around the thing, and he was a
Mhm.
high school football. And so like, he was telling me all about the history of MJF,
And you're like, I know.
and it's like, well, no,
Those
he's giving me some
articles you
stuff I
read
didn't
about that,
know.
I wrote them.
No, more about like actually what he did in high school. Like
Oh,
he
well,
was a very celebrated high school football player.
okay.
And which I mean I know, but like, whatever. And this guy was
Uh,
really
our neighbors to the to the south, high school football is a big deal. So
Oh
that's
yeah,
pretty
yeah,
cool.
yeah. No, I
Yeah.
know. So yeah, I just thought it was funny. So like I must have had like a 20-minute conversation with this dude. And I was just like,
He was just
okay,
like an
yeah, it's
intern
it's
too.
definitely a real press release. It's that's I can confirm that news, fellas.
Like he didn't even really work there. He was just he's an intern.
Like it struck me as something like MJF might not have been very involved in this. This guy, this was his passion
Yeah.
project. I'm gonna give the key to the city to MJF.
Vince?
So, yeah, I don't
Weird.
know why Vince was working in that town office.
Well, he needed a job for a bit there, so maybe he just I don't know. Yeah, any port in a storm. That lifestyle
Uh,
doesn't pay for itself, but
but anyway,
yeah.
that's the effect that MJF has on people.
Oh, good for MJF. I like MJF. I'm a fan of
I
MJF.
love
His
MJF.
scarf alone is fantastic.
One thing I remember talking to the guy about was how MJF will say he's a generational talent, and I automatically go, yes, that is 100% the truth. Like nobody does it like MJF does it in this
Hmm.
generation, right? Like
Hmm.
I'm not going to say he's the best of this generation, but at the way he does it, he's the best. And I
Yeah, he's
love I love his way of doing it. And he always talks about how to him he wants to make like the simplest move mean the most,
yeah,
right?
the
Which is
kangaroo
something
kick.
that's the kangaroo kick, you know, the double clothesline with Adam Cole.
Hmm. Hmm.
MJF is absolutely a generational talent. He I think his impact on wrestling is going to be so beneficial because he is going to add a lot of old school things,
Hmm.
but bring them back in a modern way, like being the type of heel that he is. Except for now, he's their scumbag, but it all
Yeah,
still
yeah,
works.
yeah.
And that kind of storytelling and that kind of approach to actual matches, MJF, generational talent, and just a fantastic. He's going to be a fantastic influence on another generation of
Definitely.
wrestlers. Yeah.
when he's ready to like not be a wrestler anymore, he will definitely be someone who goes into mentoring and
Yeah.
teaching the next generation, like a Dusty Rhodes. Like I see that as his sort of like career through line is that he ends up in that kind of situation. He'll
That would
be
be
the Dusty
fantastic.
Rhodes in CM Punk's NXT.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
It'll be great.
Well, like MJF is like 20 years younger than Punk, right? So maybe NXT goes,
Yeah,
Shawn Michaels is the trainer, then CM Punk is the trainer, then MJF is the trainer,
yeah.
and then like Matt Hardy's Maxwell kid is like the trainer.
For some reason, Prince Albert is still the head coach through all of it. He just doesn't age.
Matt, I'm still here, Bloom.
Yeah, I like that guy, but yeah.
Hey, no, no, me too. Me too. He had a good run in Japan. Him and Carl
Mhm,
Anderson. Um, I think they won World Tag League once.
mhm.
They were definitely the tag champs in Japan once, but
Yep. Yeah.
they would do the World Tag League and stuff like that. Yeah, that was before Bullet Club started. Carl Anderson and Giant Bernard, that was his name.
Ooh,
They would,
that is
yeah.
not a good name.
And then, the
I know it's
decision was
wrestling,
made
but that is not a good name.
and WWE, and I feel like he was kind of a Triple H project too when they brought him back as Lord Tensai.
Oh yeah.
And because I'm
And
starting to
then
get a handle,
Sweet Tea.
I'm starting to get a handle on like what Triple H likes and his booking style, and I really like Triple H's booking style, as I've said a lot. But like, he's fine with just throwing shit at the wall, and
Mhm.
like Lord Tensai was, let's throw this shit at the wall,
Yeah.
and like it, and that felt like a Triple H project to me. Like I know it kind of feels Vincey, like on
Yeah.
paper it sounds very Vince McMahon-y, but the way they did it,
It was
I
very
don't know.
Triple H, where they were like, "Yes,
Yeah,
this is Lord Tensai. You may remember him as, Prince Albert or whatever, but he went to
yeah,
Japan and got mean, and now they call him Lord
yeah,
Ten."
yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
that's very Triple H. Vince would have just been like, "They're never gonna remember Prince Albert. Go on out there,"
Yeah,
and we all would
yeah.
have been like, "What the fuck, Prince Albert doing here?" But you know, it's that kind of thing.
Sin
But yeah,
Cara also felt like, I guess anytime where like WWE is focused on like someone who had success internationally, I just assume Vince McMahon had nothing to do with it.
well, yeah,
Because the way they were
but
pushing, like they had like Sin Cara when he was Mystico, who's
mhm.
a huge deal in Mexico and in Lucha Libre worldwide. Um, he yeah, like I don't know. That felt Triple H to me too, the way that they were originally
Mhm.
really heavy on him.
And then the whole replacing him with another person and pretending that it's not happening. That part was very Vince.
Oh yeah. You've got to go
Yeah.
through the whole list of stuff that goes, because he went back to Mexico, then couldn't use the Mystices name.
Yeah.
Somebody else had Mystices, so he combined Mystices with like, it's just
Yeah.
it's ridiculous. There's like, but Mystico, I believe he's back to just being Mystico. He's like
Yes.
top
Oscar
tier
spits him in
level.
people's faces. Yeah, it
There's
wasn't
a
great.
healthy respect for the poison mist in wrestling these days. Granted,
Yeah.
yeah, we used to only have like Tajiri and the Great Muda. Now we got Asuka does the mist.
Hmm.
Julia Hart does the mist. Well, Malachi Black does the
Hmm.
mist.
Didn't
Shinsuke
Shinsuke do it? Yeah.
Nakamura does the mist. A healthy
Do you think
respect for the poison mist in wrestling.
you think they all get them at the same place?
Like
Or
if
just
there is
like
like a mist de- depository.
yeah. Like where
I
does
don't
one
know.
acquire the poison mist?
I think, well, for years, Mr. Fuji just ran a shop that had like
Mm.
salt you could throw in people's eyes, poison mist, like various voodoo artifacts, I believe.
That's one I'd like to see come back. The salt in people's eyes. That was a good one.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. That
Um,
cost Bret Hart the title
it did.
and won it for Hulk
WrestleMania
Hogan.
9. WrestleMania
Yeah.
9, where the match between Bret Hart and Yokozuna was won by Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite what the hell is happening moments forever. Like it's
And then a few
and they
months
had Brett play
later,
it up like, "No, you do it. I can't see. You do it." And Hogan being
it's
like, "Okay, I guess I have to win the title."
you do it. That's how sports work. You